It is taking so long to load lately. There we go. Hey, we are live. It's 5:25. Boogie with the Bull. Today it's the Friday free for all, and with us is Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, and
Hello.
that's what we're doing today.
We're talking about.
We're talking about homeschooling, and the joke of the day is, hey, parents, it's very important to find the best schools for your home because a dumb home will not get into a good homeschool college.
Wow.
And Beijing Biden said today that if you send your home to school, you can deduct it off your taxes in the year 2099,
As long as you don't make more than
as long as you don't make
40,000.
more than what it costs to send your kid to school.
Right.
Then you have to join Boogie with the Bull and pay for broadcasts and do all that stuff, try to get legal tax deductions, or contact Soup Mama, who is going to East Palestine, Ohio, the Nagel Fire Department, like she is every time because they have a huge parking lot and they
Awesome.
it's available to people. She will be there on Sunday, August 16th. Go to the Soup Mama official page on Facebook. I think you can type in either soupmama.com or soupmamaofficial.com and get to an actual website. You'll find all of the information that you need to know. We reached out to her to see if we could get her on today, and I know that she's balls to the walls, getting ready to go. I know that the number one thing they are looking for all the time is water, water, and water. Bottled
Wow.
water, drinking water. And if you are not convenient to Pennsylvania, where Soup Mama is based, can't get it to her, go to the Soup Mama, like I said, Facebook page or find her on the web, soupmama.com. And there are plenty of ways to donate money to her. She's a 501c3 legit organization. She's not going to take your money and go do something else. So I don't want to hear about any of that. She will take your money and she will go buy what the people in East Palestine need. She's been up there a bunch of times. They know her. She's working with all of them. And water, water, water is what is the number one concern. Uh, it's gotten so bad. I read yesterday, actually, I read this morning on a post. If you go to my profile, there's a post plugging Soup Mama, and there's an added post to it from someone who lives in East Palestine. And it's gotten so bad that the residents are trying to book hotel rooms because I guess the train company was paying for hotel rooms, but people are booking hotel rooms because just so they can shower on the weekend and wash clothes. If they get a hotel room with a washer and a dryer, they'll wash clothes on water that isn't East Palestine water, and they can use. Uh, so water, 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 and more water, or donate and help them buy water. You'll also find a list of all the other things they need. But anyway, school is now in session, and Miss Jen is our guest lecturer.
I don't know if I'm a good lecturer, but hello, everybody. This is great. I just wanted to encourage you that this is one of your rights. It's not even something you have to fight for. You can legally and constitutionally school your own children, school yourself. You can school whoever you want, and this is how you can do it. And they are protecting you with legal advice and legal attorneys. I always start at this site. It's called www.hslda.org, and that stands for Homeschool Legal Defense Attorneys, and they have everything you need to know on there. You can even become a member, and if you're part of their membership, you get a lot of the stuff free. But and you do pay a minimal price for an attorney if you need one. But I just love to go there because they tell you exactly what you need to prepare for. They tell you from your specific state how many credits you're going to need, exactly what courses your student is going to have to take, because not all states are the same as far as the courses, but they're all protected if you're in the United States of America. So don't let people tell you you're not, or that you're missing something, and that you should really be sending your children to, I call them government schools, but they're public schools. They're run by the government, and I won't even get into the trash that they're teaching them. You've known, you see the news. It's bad. I mean, it's not even age appropriate. So that's why I like to go to HSLDA to start, and that's .org. It's not a .com or a net. It's an organization. This thing is huge, and it's totally legal in all 50 of the 50 states to homeschool. The only thing you really have to do, and I so encourage you to do this, is to keep track of what you're teaching your children, because it's important. If they ever ask, I don't even know. Do you know, Dave? Do they still send truancy officers out?
I
I think
don't I don't know if they send truancy officers out anymore, but I do believe that they will send out local law enforcement, the police or the sheriff, uh,
right. To
out
make sure.
to investigate, both as the need to know, wellness checks on the children, but also just to try to find out why they're not going.
Right, because the school does get money for each student that attends.
When
They get
we
more government money.
when
So
we
when
were
you
in
keep your
school, it was,
children,
they used to say ADA. It was average daily enrollment, and based on the number of students that were in school that day, they got so much money. And I joke about it because my two older sisters went to the same high school I did. I was a freshman when they were seniors. And in our home rooms each day, the school had a card that had your name and all your information. And if all the kids that were there, no, excuse me, all the kids that weren't there, if your card, only the cards of the kids that weren't there that day were recorded, because otherwise they got the same money every day. And my two sisters in both of their homerooms had the job of calling roll and putting the cards in the envelope. Yeah, putting the cards in the envelope, and it was the card of the kids that were there that day. So on the day they weren't there, they made sure their cards went into the envelope. No, didn't go into the envelope, and
okay,
gave it to a friend of theirs to do it that day. And then years after the three of us had graduated, they mailed the cards back to one of their homeroom teachers, who got a hold of me on Facebook and said, "Did you know anything about this?" And I'm like, "No." I had cut my first class in high school till I was a senior, and I got caught.
no, come on, Dave.
Anyway,
Anyhow,
now
okay.
now I'm a homeschool teacher.
Yeah,
I
your
need to be,
grandson. That's
well, you know,
awesome.
we talk about life more than trying to teach him the required subjects. He's a good kid. He's smart.
Right.
You know,
That's
he's
cool.
smart and he applies himself. And it'll be interesting to see if our youngest, who is 16 months, it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. He'll be in the public schools. I don't think they will homeschool. They might homeschool, but I
I see.
tend to think that he will probably end up in the public schools. But you never know.
Right.
You never
Wow. But that's great. Do you know what curriculum he's using or his parents are using with him?
couldn't tell you.
Okay, because I was going to say you can put this together for free on your
They're using
own.
the Boogie with the Bull curriculum.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It's one
Okay.
it's one broadcast every day, and three. And as you go to sleep, you have to listen to three others.
But
No,
you'll be smart. Yeah, that's great. You'll be informed.
I guess
Um,
they've done studies where they actually do that. They'll put in sleep studies, they'll put something on that you're listening to, and they'll monitor what your brain is getting out of it, and then
brainwave. Wow.
continue it going while you're asleep to see. And in some studies, it turned out they, when the techs thought they were actually sleeping, they were, but their brain was still picking it up.
Taking in information. Wow. Mm, excuse me. That's interesting. And I wanted to say, even with young children, they are picking up everything, not just things they hear, but things they see. And so I wanted to promote this educational wall art that I'm selling on one of my websites. This one is on Koji, K
Jen
O.
Woodruff Network,
Yeah,
jenwoodruff.com.
not there yet. KOJI. Anyhow, Dave has a link. It's in the comments, and I
Where
just wanted to show you some of the wall art. We call it wall art. I like to call them posters, but they're not posters. They're 8.5 by 11 right now because you can print them out on your own printer. But if you put things like this around now let's go to this side. Okay, like this one here is shapes.
shapes.
There's shapes, and these frame beautifully, and they're all in um, high definition color, and you can put them in a wood frame. But I purposely didn't do them on beige backgrounds and earth tone colors because I think it's good for children to see what real colors are. Sorry if it doesn't match your decor, but your kids will learn stuff. Yellow's yellow and red is red, not salmon and mustard. And what is it?
Teal.
Muted, I don't know,
Teal.
sage green. It's
Teal.
crazy, but those are shapes, and this is, let's see, this one was the best side. This one is colors. And so I wanted to keep it in vibrant, high quality. It looks kind of dim here, but when you print it out, you'll notice they're great prints and it's in great color. And you can put these in white frames on your nursery walls. You can even put them in your preschools, in your romper rooms, or in your playroom.
The free set
They're
will be in your gift bag on the way as you leave the studio tonight.
Well, they used to be $1 a page, which would be $6, but we have a sale running until the end of this month, and that's 15% off.
15% off.
15.
You should have
So
bought it. You people should have gone there and bought it yesterday. It
no, it
probably
doesn't.
sold out today.
Yeah. Anyhow, I believe I know that they are $5.10 for the whole set, and it's actually 6 pieces of paper, not just five. And this one, okay, so we did shapes and colors, and this is very wobbly days of the week. And what I love is the ones you can get printed out like at a print shop, such as Walmart or Staples, I believe has one still. I saw Kinko's the other day, and my kids looked at me like, Kinky, what? And I'm like, Kinko's. It doesn't exist. It's one of those poor stores. I guess I
Well, FedEx
outgrew it.
FedEx bought Kinko's years ago.
Oh, and look at
So
that one.
so some of them might still be FedEx Kinko's, but a lot of them are just a FedEx store now.
Okay. I see. So that was days. We got shapes, colors, days of the week. And the next one is supposed to be months of the year. They just stick together.
Hey, they pulled a good one on me the other day in a doctor's office.
What happened?
They looked at Dementia Dave, and he said,
Oh,
"What are the 12 months of the year?" So I got them all right, January to December. Then he said, "Can you say them backwards?" And I actually got to March. Then I had to take a second, and I did it. But I actually did do it. All those crazy brain twists that they teach, that they send at you to make sure you're still thinking and can remember how to do things.
that's funny. It reminds me of another business that has gone back to the 80s or wherever they came from. Was besides Kinko's, there used to be a Mexican restaurant called Chi-Chi's. And
Yeah,
they would come, whistling their yeah 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 whatever they start singing in
they sell their
Spanish.
salsa in the supermarkets. They've sold it for years.
Right, right.
I
They
thought
still
you were going to say Chili's because Chili's has been around since I
Chili's is
was
still
a kid.
kicking.
Because
Yeah.
when we lived in California, my dad would take us there, a lot. And I'm 61, and they're still in business. Uh, you know, but
Well, this was Chi-Chi's, And
Yep.
so they start like doing their chattering and their little tambourines, or
Yep.
I don't know, someone had a mandolin, and they're coming to sing happy birthday. And they said, "Would you like us to sing this to you the normal way or backwards?" And of course, we're like, "Backwards." We're like, "How are they going to do that?" And they all turned around, so their back was
And,
to us,
and
and
most
they
people
kept,
on a Friday night celebrating somebody's birthday at Chi Chi's, it wouldn't
yeah,
matter. It wouldn't matter if they were just making up whatever language they wanted and singing it. You'd still swear they were singing "Happy Birthday" to you anyway.
I know you get a free scoop of what fried ice cream and margarita, so
I
it
used to
was
crawl
good.
under the table when they came. It was like, no, wrong. I'm sorry.
Too funny. Okay, so well, this one is our beautiful months of the year poster. There we go, months of the
Now,
year.
if you turn it around, does it have the months backwards?
No, kind of. Yeah. Don't. It just looks like a snowstorm. And then this last, oh no, I think we're missing seasons. There's one of the four seasons, but this one is my favorite because it's an acronym. Because acronyms like help you remember anything. I
Yep.
know the word is think, but I don't really remember what it stands for. But it's okay right here. It's true. It's like think before you speak. Okay,
Think
it's
before
great
you
for
speak.
children. Yeah,
Truth, inspire. I
is
can't
it
think of the other ones.
true,
Truth,
helpful,
helpful,
inspiring?
inspiring, kind.
Uh, Necessary and kind.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times we say things, I'm like, is it really necessary to tell us that? And they're like, oh, well, yeah. And like,
I
no,
gotta
now you,
wonder how many times a day Joe Biden looks at his handlers at the White House and goes, "Is this really necessary?"
oh my
I mean,
God.
you would think that he could do so much good in his demented state if he looked at people and he was honest and he said, most Americans can't even think about simple things like getting out of bed in the morning, and you want them to figure out their taxes for the 8 hours they just slept.
Oh gosh, he thinks we're stupid. But no, that's his thing. He's the taxer in chief.
He's
But
the man. Well,
I wanted to say too, some free resources.
free
If you
resources
Yes, if you're
because
not gonna,
resources are best if they're free.
right? If it's free, it's for me. We always used to say that, but you kind of have to put together your own syllabus and your own lesson plan. But you can do that if you
Don't do
really
that
want to.
if I put the kids on the bus and send them to school every day.
You
No,
could, and
I
there's
would.
nothing
I
wrong
would.
with that.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
Yes, we were really blessed that I was able to stay home
Yeah.
and homeschool our children.
I
But if
mean,
you can't, it's okay. They're still going to be educated. Just pray over them and make sure you have good information at home, like a bookshelf and books. And I was going to show you some of my favorite books that we always had before, our children were of school age. And this is one of my favorite. Hold on. Okay. Oh boy. Dave, I don't know. You put them under all these heavy ones. I can't. I'm
I
kidding.
didn't do.
I know
I have
so much.
enough. I have enough trouble making sure I put my seatbelt on when I get in my desk chair
Oh my
before we
goodness. Yeah, this is
go
my
live. No,
most favorite one, and dads love it, especially my dad, grandpa, the papa, and Jesse, because if you fall asleep when you're it's like a picture book. It's called My First
for
Thousand Words, and it is an Osborne book. But
awards.
what is so cool about this is if you fall asleep, which I don't know why you'd fall asleep, the kids just keep you up. I
Oh,
remember the babies, Lord, after the first one, if you can do one, you can do 10. Seriously, the first child is easier to go from one child to two, three, four. I went up to five than it is to go from 0 to 1 because you're just not used to it. Okay, this is really cool. Each page is a different location, and this one is the toy store. But what's so cool about this, besides all the fantastic pictures in it, you have to look for one little thing on each page, and that would be the yellow duck. And it's so cute because when you do find it, or the kids find it, they'll be screaming, "We found it! We found it!" Then you wake up and you're like, "Cool, let's go to the next page." But it's funny, and I'll show you how this happens up close. Let's see. We've gone through so many of these, I should know right away where the duck is. Oh, I don't. Oh, well. But it's. Oh, I think he's in the pond over here. Let's see. I think he's in the pond at the bottom. I'm not for sure. But there's a pond at the bottom near the binder of the page, and there's ducks in there. And I think there's a little yellow one that is the star of the story. So this is so cool because every page has the same little rubber ducky, and it's a great gift to give, like a baby shower, a brand new mom. There's the ducks at the bottom. Do you see that, the little yellow duck?
I do.
Yeah,
Really,
he's
I'm
hiding.
not just saying that.
No, he's really there. He's in each page, and it is a fantastic book. The other book we would always have around is an atlas, so they are learning geography. Probably not till you tell them what's what, but it's great. They're learning something. And another book we had was called How to Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. And it was the best beginning reading book because they're actually showing you how you slide the letters together and make the sounds. And then all these sounds going together come out to be a word. So you can totally do this. You don't have to have training before you homeschool. You just have to have the heart and the um what is it? Not stamina, just consistency.
You can do it, and Jen can help.
Yes, I can help. That is my mission
She
in
is
life.
the homeschooling mom, and that's what we're talking about today on the Friday Free for All. If you have thought about it, uh, think about it some more, talk to Jen. I've noticed that in some communities, some cities, parents get together and form kind of like a co op where there might be 5 parents, and each parent has something that they excel in, and they teach that on one day, and they swap days, and they plan field trips that all the kids
Right.
are on, and even activities. I know you said recently that I guess your youngest, who's going through high school, now wants to take choir classes, I think, and the public school has to offer it to homeschooling students if they
Yes.
want to take it, just like your older son played
Baseball.
baseball.
Softball. Yeah, it's fantastic. We're still paying taxes. You can't
Yep.
get out of taxes. So if you're paying the public school taxes, they have to be available to help you with whatever you need. And so I have a great relationship with the counselor at the school because my seriously, it was a woman. Stop, she's
Oh
nice.
my God! Tell
And
that older lady I'm not here.
I know. Well, one of my oldest daughter went to school there, and she loved it, and she learned some stuff that she had all the social whatever she needed because that's the one thing people talk about. They're worried about the children. I'm like, you are not worried about the children at
Oh,
all. I'm sure
you
you're not. They're like socially. I'm
you,
like,
you can be, but like our
yeah,
grandson is in karate, and he's
that's
in,
awesome.
for lack of putting it better, he's in a couple of the tournament, the card game things. I always say Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, but they're newer than that. He's Magic, One Piece. So I mean, he's out doing that a couple of nights. He's at karate a couple of nights. Uh, I've said before that our son, who is very mathematically gifted
Right.
in his head, will teach Tony a math lesson. Could be measuring the wood to build something, and or building something using all the math.
That
Uh,
is awesome.
I know
I-
that at a time you could tell Tony that he had $100 to spend, and he could put it into his calculator and go through the grocery store and make sure that he didn't go over. He could go under, but or tell him, and he'd go do it, and they'd price it out, and he can do that. He probably knows how to pay bills too. I should probably hire him to do that because I'm not good at paying bills.
Oh, he's a little CPA. That's awesome.
But,
That is so cool. But yeah, I wanted to say I don't understand why people are concerned about our children who are homeschooled not being socialized, because when I was in school, I kept getting shut up for talking, and that's when I got all my detentions in, because I had something to say. It was important, or the teacher said something funny and I had to add to it, and I guess
but
they don't like that, so you get a detention. So I'm like, really, don't worry about socialization, they'll
but
work it
it's
out.
like the first thing that I would say to them: you're afraid about your kids not being socialized if they're being homeschooled. But it's the
Right.
same child who leaves your house every day, goes to the public schools, learns whatever is being taught there that they claim is the right things to be teaching them. Then all your kids get on the bus, they go home. What do? They sit on, well, imagine this as a cell phone. They sit on this all day long,
Right, right.
Snapchat and on TikTok and on, all the other places where, they got their own group chat networks probably, where they
Right.
all just sit and, do the same thing they would have done if they were not being indoctrinated, for lack of putting it better.
Right. Some kids want to talk a lot, some kids are shy. And it's not if someone who's homeschooled is shy, it's not because they were withheld. It's
Right.
because they just don't want to talk to people. They
I
just
used to have the hardest time in school.
Oh wow. Talking to
The
people?
teacher called on me and I had to talk because the problem always was this moved faster than this could move. And I'd end up getting tongue tied and tripping on words and just would beg them not to call me. I would sit in the back of the room where they wouldn't call, or I'd sit in the front of the room right under them while figuring that they're looking in the back to get a hold to pick
That was
somebody to
yeah, that was
talk and they
smart.
wouldn't see me there. But you know,
That's funny.
and I don't care what intelligence is anyway, because the last time they checked mine was in 1971, and I had 101. So I guess
Oh,
that I guess that means I passed. So, and
that's
now it's
good.
probably 100 all these years later. And to me, all of those tests are all well and good, but you have to apply each area of that test to living today. You can't say 40 years ago you had to get 100% of this and 80% of this and 70% of that, because today it's different. I mean, it's the same thing. They want to understand how much you know of everything, but today you have to know different things or the same things differently than we
Right.
learned them before. Because I
Yeah.
mean, I could say to my grandson, here's the grocery list. Can you go online and shop it for me? And what's he going to do? He's probably going to go to Walmart.com, sign in on my account, put the list in, and have the truck deliver it.
Have someone bring it
Or
over.
he'll go to
Right.
Amazon. He'll go to Amazon and order it, or might say, I'm going to go order it on Amazon. And the only reason I'd say okay is because Amazon bought the Whole Foods chain, and that's what they use to get into the home grocery delivery business, and they're a great brand. So
That's great. Yeah, but like you were saying, how we have to learn things differently than we did back in the day is true. And I don't really understand why they're changing such fundamental things. That's why I always say go back to I don't think we even went over there are three constant reading, writing, and arithmetic
yeah,
free sites you can go to. I always go to the Encyclopedia Britannica.
yeah.
That's great for reading. You can find any kind of information you want there. And they know what a woman is.
That
That is the funniest thing. That Kataji Brown or whoever was
was
on the
one of the big
she
brands.
did No,
When
what
we
it
were
was.
all growing up, well, oh yeah, I mean, I'm 61. When we were growing up 40, 50 years ago, our parents all had Encyclopedia Britannica. We
Yes.
had, we had, I think Compton was a brand, and they might have become part of Britannica. I don't know, but we also had the World Book Encyclopedia,
Right. I think we had something from the
and
A&P
and it
grocery
was like
store.
Jerry Michaels made a comment on one of his broadcasts. Maybe it was here, I forget, the other day that your parents bought that thing for you, and it was a fantastic resource. I know with
Right.
Britannica, after my dad had bought the first set, we got like a yearbook, an additional book every year that we had it, that kind of condensed everything so that you didn't have to go flipping through a million
Right.
a million ones trying to find
Sure.
the thing that you wanted, and they were pretty cool. Now you just type in your search
Google.
button.
Yeah, Google it.
You just Google what you want. Before you know it, in half a second, you got 15 pages worth of things that you can't use until you find the one in the middle that you can use. And it's Google, so you got to figure it's being censored anyway.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that true is
If you
true.
use Google, uh,
Right. Well, okay, so that was the reading thing, and then there's writing, and I love the program called Handwriting Without Tears. It's really good, but it's not free. However, you can get free paper at this website called Udemy, Udemy. And what that is, it's like college courses. It's just really unique courses. I even have a son who dropped out of the college here in Idaho because he wanted to learn CCNA, certified, what is it, certified citrix or certified, I don't know, something technical. My husband does it, but it's, he works for a computer place, a storage facility. He does networking, and they call it IT. And
it,
I say, what is that? Imaginary technology? Because I don't see nothing.
some of
But
it, some of it is.
right, you can't see it.
In my case, it's incomparable. Yeah,
Technology.
incomprehensible technology because
Right,
I'll never understand how you got it to do it,
right. It's
but
just
it does it.
coding, yeah, coding stuff with the
Yeah,
computers.
I mean,
It's all digital.
for me, computers were a necessary part of the business, but to write the code, to write something to do what I needed to do, no. I'd crack open the checkbook and just say, hey, I need someone to sit down. I need the computer to do this every time we sit down, and then I need the computer to show this every other time we sit down.
That's funny.
And
And you can't do that as much anymore, but you can go to this one website called Fiverr, Fiverr. And people, my sons sell like guitar rhythms and what is it called? Chords. I don't know. They write these
okay,
little parts of a song
yeah,
and they sell them. And it's
yeah,
so cool because then someone who plays the drums will see that and they'll be like,
yeah,
"Oh, let's get together because we could put your,
oh yeah.
part of your song," and they become famous rock bands or something. It's fantastic.
I
But
was
it's really
watching
cool.
I was watching a reel yesterday, and I wish it had been the whole video because the guy was talking about, I guess, the Guess Who, the song American Woman was actually put together live. They had back to back shows one night where they were playing, and I guess the lead singer stepped off the stage to, I don't know, get a cigarette, get a drink, do whatever. And he was outside talking to somebody and he heard the music playing. So he excused himself and said, I guess the set started. So they were just jamming among themselves and they were playing the chords that led to the intro, what became the intro of American Woman. So
Oh
when
my
he got
gosh,
back
how
on the
cool.
stage, he said, "I just said whatever was in my mind. American Woman, get away from me." Talking about life in the ghetto and this and that and the other stuff, and they just they, I guess a kid was there in the show and had a big boom box up on his shoulder the whole time, and he was recording it. He was making a bootleg of the concert, and
That's awesome.
they evidently told him it was okay. They needed the audio track of the entire concert because they were going to publish the song. I
Mhm.
don't know. I understand they bought the tape from him. I don't know if if he got any rights to the song or not, but it was pretty cool. And I've seen musicians do that before too, where they'll just all of a sudden be jamming. We've seen Creedence Clearwater revisited the new group, and every once in a while they'll just start jamming. I mean, between sets, they'll come back on and they'll just start jamming, and next thing you know, there's a new album and that song's number one. Dennis DeYoung used to do it with Styx all the time.
Oh, wow. That's
They were
so
just
cool.
they he gave them, well, with his new band, the band that plays with him on his own tours, he has given them the go ahead. If you got a solo on a song, just go crazy, and and when it's time for the next guy in the band to have his solo, you back him up, and he's walked off stage in the middle of a set or just gone and sat and just and it's amazing to me that these guys can do it. But we just digressed on homeschool music class. Music
That is cool, but what I love
homeschool
is
music.
how you said it those homeschool groups are called home groups or a
Yeah,
homeschool group, everybody has something to offer.
I hear they
Even
call them co-ops, but I don't
yes,
know. I don't
we
know. If
had
that, I don't like the word co-op. I don't know why. So so
but it's fantastic. I know everyone
yeah.
has something to offer and we all pitch in
It,
and it's like the children are getting their extracurricular stuff. One lady paints, someone plays a guitar. It's fantastic.
is the equivalent of if you say you were homeschooled from all the way up through high school is online courses in at college, is that the equivalent to being homeschooled for college?
Yeah, as long
I
as
mean,
you fulfill
yeah,
what they say at that
yeah,
first website I told you, it will tell you, like for Idaho, we
I
had to
could,
have this was crazy. It was like it used to be 22 credits. My oldest
yeah,
graduated with 22 credits. And then the next one had to get what
yeah,
24. And then the third one, oh my gosh, by the time we got to Jessica, they have this this drives me nuts. It's this other company that slashed onto the education system and they gave a good line to get a lot of money and they said this is why you need us. You can't just go on doing things the way you're doing and letting these children graduate with 29 credits.
yeah,
So this company is called Icon. It's ICON
yeah,
and they added so many
good,
extra curricular.
yeah,
It's terrible.
yeah,
So, but it's crazy. So I helped Jessica get through some of the stuff. It's insane. They want you to take like over 40 credits, and you have to take these weird, really weird sexual classes, really weird. They're trying to teach you
yeah,
transgender
yeah,
stuff. And it's very uncomfortable because we know the truth, and you can't tell me that someone can have an extra chromosome and then
yeah.
this and like that weird
Dennis,
little man child on the Bud Light. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Dennis
Then
Michael Lynch does a broadcast daily on Rumble, but he's also on Facebook. But they limit the amount of time he can be on Facebook. And today he was really ranking on Facebook, so they cut him off early. But
oops.
he said recently he had a government doctor. I don't know if he's a Democrat or not, but had a government doctor who said that transgenderism is a mental disease because it in theory, I guess, is a physical impossibility for a man to become a lady and a lady to become a man. The way that you popped out of your mother or were taken out of your mother is the way that you are. And then he ranked, of course, because he opposed it. He said he can't understand Bruce Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner. It must be some kind of mental deficiency. For me, I think it's a big hypocrisy in Bruce's case, because Bruce has said, Bruce said before he became Caitlyn that he knew around the time he was 8 years old he was going to have to do this. But you got a guy who's making millions of dollars as a professional athlete and has another $1 billion worth of sponsorship every year. And how do you go to, he said, how do I go to my dad, who was his manager or something, biggest supporter, and say, I'm going to go to bed as Bruce, and when I wake up, I'm not going to be Bruce anymore.
Oh my gosh.
But now I really wish I had Caitlyn on the broadcast and go, hey, Kate, tell me now, can you go to Bud? Can you get a $500 million a year contract to advertise Bud Light? Because at least I personally think, and this is my personal expression, and if Facebook, you want to knock me off because of it, you're more than welcome to do it. But I personally think that Dylan is a man dressing up as a lady because he's getting paid a lot of money to dress up as a lady. Whether or not he will actually ever become a lady has yet to be done. Because we're all digital creators on the internet. We're all creating something. We have groups, and I have broadcasts, and I bring my friends on, and we do broadcasts. And if Bud Light came to me and said, will you wear a kilt on your broadcasts and claim that you're this? Yeah, for $500,000 a year, I'd probably.
How much is that? Yeah.
But no one's gonna believe it.
No, they really. It's so sad.
And the sad thing about it is Dylan is saying, "Oh, I'm getting $50,000 to do this, and then tomorrow somebody else is offering me $50 million, and somebody else is offering me $50,000." I want to sit down and slap him across the face and go, yeah, today they're offering you $50,000. But tomorrow, when the world sees what you're pushing today is something wrong, they're going to offer somebody else $50,000. The $50,000 that you get right now from Bud Light, if they decide this isn't right, this life that we're pushing isn't right, they're going to come to me and say, hey, we want to pay you $50,000 a broadcast to get people drinking Bud Light again. Probably can't get them to do it, but
Oh, I know. I'm sure that college student, whoever the woman is that is in charge of advertisement, she's going to lose her job.
Because if you look at, I'm sorry I cut you off, but I always do. I apologize. If you look at her when she's talking, I've made cracks on posts in our groups on Facebook. Dude looks like his older sister.
How? I didn't think of that. They could be related.
The faces are similar. I walked away one day laughing to myself, going,
it's a family affair.
It's not Dylan Mulvaney. It's this person.
It's this
person created Dylan. She's Dylan Mulvaney. But then again, if I was the CEO or the advertising director of AB InBev, the company, the Anheuser-Busch parent company, and you came to me and said, we have declining sales of Bud Light. We've been selling it for years as a frat boy beer. And frat boys aren't cool anymore because, in theory, frat boys aren't cool anymore because they all moved up and they're drinking our older boy beers. So we're faced with, what do we do? Do we just shut down this brand and kick out something else? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to design a trans can, and we're going to go after the
Right.
trans people, because if I was the CEO of AB InBev, I would have said, well, there's plenty of other ways we could market to all of America, everybody who drinks Bud Light, and we'll continue to sell it. Because the reality is that whatever you do, however you're going to market Bud Light now, those people that don't like it, don't like what you're doing to their beer, hopefully they're going to buy another AB InBev brand. Sales are going to go up through the roof. If we're making $127 trillion a day selling Miller Lite, then we're going to take some of that off the wall record profit, and I'll allow you to play with Light until it burns itself out. Because we're either just going to stop making Bud Light, and that factory and those people are going to keep their job. They're just going to make something else that we sell.
Wow. Wow. It was sad. I love,
around the world will lose their jobs if we don't make this ID change to Bud Light.
It's the globalists trying to take over. I'm telling you, they're trying to take away every good thing. You would not believe the next two things they're planning on taking down. They're statues. The first one is the Washington Monument. That big
to me, it's always looked like a phallic symbol to me.
It is. I think it is. They're taking it down
with a pyramid on top.
Wow, right.
I don't understand.
Creepy.
I don't understand what it no.
I don't know, but there's another one. There's always two of everything.
And that, to me, this is the biggest thing that I don't understand. All of these globalists want to create the woke states of America. Yet they want the woke states of America government to go back to the days of Ronald Reagan.
Oh.
And Reagan and giving the impression that everybody bows down to the United States government. We are God created for us to be the superpower. And
better start drilling or give us something to be proud of, because we're not producing.
I heard probably a month ago that now they've signed that deal in Alaska. It's supposed to bring up somewhere between 283,000 and 284,000 barrels a day. I believe the first intention was to get the strategic oil reserves brought back up to where it should be. If he did that, or even while he was doing that, had gas production and everything else they use oil to produce, back pumping at 100%, I don't understand why he is so stupid to not realize it doesn't matter if OPEC says we're going to cut 500,000 barrels a day, because the United States of America needs 500,000 barrels a day from us. Because I'd be looking at the King of Saudi Arabia and going, I don't mean to be rude, Your Highness, but we're not buying it from you anyway. Under Trump, we weren't buying it from you anyway, and we were selling it in the same markets you do for less than you. And we were making record profits. Everybody was happy. Everybody was working. Everybody was getting paid. Walmart wanted to have on the shelves what people wanted to buy.
Wow.
Or even the neighborhood bodega. They wanted to have on the shelves what people wanted to buy.
You're right.
But now, knock a train off its tracks in East Palestine, Ohio, decide the best way to get rid of its highly toxic load is to blow it up and hope that it burns itself out in a fireball, which it could possibly have done. I don't think anybody agreed in this particular case that that's what would happen. I mean, why didn't we get pump trucks into it and try to pump truck as much of it into the trucks and truck it out of there? as we could.
It's so sad. I really feel like the globalists made that happen and they want to poison us. They want to poison our foods. And I swear we're
I,
going to have
I love
another.
conspiracy theories, and we have a good friend of mine on a lot who says that we spend too much time in conspiracy theories. But
Are your dogs okay?
no, yeah, they're howling because
They're having a
they're,
party.
no, they're howling because they have Studio B, and they tend to go live on Studio B at the same time I'm on here.
Oh,
But
they're
two
sweet.
of one of the one of the pit bulls has terrible, what do you call it, stress anxiety, separation anxiety. So when the family leaves and she thinks that they're not here,
Oh,
she will
she's.
start howling at the top of her lungs, usually until she either strains her voice or just realizes that she's okay.
Yeah, nothing's
Uh,
different. They'll be
and the
fine.
Akita sleeps in the same room. So when he hears her howling, of course, it becomes choir class, and or she's his backup singer, so he has to help her. Uh, but uh,
That's fun.
someone else is here because I hear someone just came in, so they will quiet down. Usually it doesn't bother me. I just, like I said, I always joke that it's the four dogs in Studio B, and they seem to book Studio B at the same time I'm on in Studio A.
That's fun.
And then every once in a while you'll hear Delilah
Oh, she's
will kind of
sweet.
bark at him to get him to pipe down too. But
That's so cute. She's like
yeah,
maintaining the boys. That's funny. But the last thing I wanted to talk about, because you're
okay,
talking about free thinking, and I love that. That's the
yep,
biggest thing with homeschooling is that we're teaching the children how to think without indoctrinating them. They're just reading good books. What they need is good, everyone needs good information to start as
right.
your like diving board
There,
or your springboard. That's what you
there are just some things that the public schools are teaching at some grade levels that
are not appropriate. Where
I
did
wanted
people
to be a kindergarten teacher, honestly. Before I decided that I was going to major in broadcasting, I wanted
right?
to be a kindergarten teacher, and
Right.
not for any crazy reason, but because they're they're learning to think
Right.
for themselves at that
That's
point, and they
good. The
still think
reasoning.
for themselves at that point because they haven't been indoctrinated really beyond anything that their parents have taught them.
Right. That's good.
So
Well,
I wanted to be there to watch how these kids learn. And then later in life, I wanted to become a college level philosophy teacher so that I could listen to them
what they
explain to
learned.
me
Yeah.
the philosophy of their life from day one to 22. And I'd probably get lucky and have a class of child prodigies who like Doogie Howser were in school for brain surgery and took my class as an elective, uh, you know, and
Right.
understand what they learned. And the college level class would have been there are no right answers and no wrong answers. When you walk in this door, you just take part in the conversations.
Group
If they
think.
write an
Right. Right.
assignment, you write. And then you might get asked to take your writing assignment and read it to the class or ask someone else in the class to read it because when I was in college for broadcasting, a lot of the shyer students in the class would look at me and go, "We hear you on the radio when we're awake at 2 o'clock in the morning, cramming for our morning classes, and you're
Oh,
just kind
that's
of
funny.
crazy. Would you read my 2 minute paper?" And I would have to say to one of the instructors, "Can I read it the way I would read it if I was reading it as a script for a broadcast?"
Oh,
Most
wow.
of the time, they'd say, "Yeah." So some Fridays I'd have to read everybody's stuff in class, and it was pretty cool.
The
But
instructor loved it.
you
Yeah.
know,
That
And the
is helpful.
ones I noticed, the ones in my college classes that were afraid to speak, are
Right.
all the ones now in our 60s who are on Facebook in all the right groups or in the right crowds and communicating. And it's like laughing at some of them and going, you know, 50
Where
years
did you?
ago, did you think we'd turn out this way?
That's funny.
You know, but it is always a pleasure to have you watching. Hey, the folks that are watching on the Dave Wilburn profile, I have to be honest with you, there is some bug somewhere between StreamYard and the live producer screen that I don't see if you're watching on the Dave Wilburn profile. So I suggest to people that you watch on the Boogie with the Bull page, or if you want to be able to share the broadcast, you watch on the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group. Uh, you can do that thing that it's type in StreamYard.com/Facebook, scroll down, give it permission. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I've been battling with them for almost a year now on how to get it to work because it's not working. And or if you really want to be sure your comments get seen and flashed on the screen and all of that, is don't even watch it on Facebook. Go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and be in the live chat there, because it does come up on the screen. We test it from time to time, and watch there. Uh, if you watch in the Boogie with the Bull page, you watch on the Boogie with the Bull page, the logo picture is red, white, and blue, Trump across the knuckles. If you watch on the page, you have an option now to buy stars, and I guess you can buy stars during a live chat, and the host is supposed to see that on the screen because you paid for the stars, and your comment gets read. I'm not asking people to ever do it. If you want to do it, go right ahead and do it. It's my job really to make sure you don't have to pay for a comment to be seen on the screen. It's my job to make sure your comment is on the screen. Anyway, let me scroll down and see where we are time-wise. It's 6:22, so I'm imagining about 6:30 you have to ride up, catch your pumpkin coach
Yes, I do. Thank
out
you.
to the American Rebellion land every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Eastern time, so set your time accordingly where you are, downstairs on the American Rebellion blogger page, or you can, if you watch it on the page, you can see the Rumble link, and you can watch it over on Rumble. Either way, I don't care where you watch it. You just need to watch it. And Jen is there usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. until 9
Right.
p.m.
Lots
And
of fun.
sometimes I will tell you honestly that if you're watching, even if you're not a guest on the broadcast that night, if you're watching, sometimes when the cameras get turned off at 9 o'clock and the show continues in the green room among the people who were on the broadcast, they are almost as entertaining, if not more entertaining, than the actual broadcast. Go see Jen. She'll be there. Jerry Michaels is the host, along with Nikki Young, Robert Lawless, the Minnesota Madman, who is active with his music career again, and you really want to know what he is doing and where he is doing it. I understand he's going to be in Las Vegas at the Nugget, I believe, the Golden Nugget.
You're right. That's awesome.
One of the oldest hotels on the Strip. I think the room that he's going to be in is what Frank Sinatra's showroom was when Frank Sinatra performed at the Nugget.
That's cool.
Robert will tell you all about that. And every once in a while, you'll see my friend Randy Rhodes on there, the genealogist of Facebook, the man who knows more genealogy on Facebook than Ancestry.com itself knows. He's there every once in a while. Also, go to the All Roads Lead to Home Facebook group. You'll get more information on what he does. Everybody that does what he does charges money. Randy's rates are usually the less. He'll comp you 15 minutes, and in the 15 minutes that he looks, He'll give you so much information 90% of the time that you really, really end up deciding that you want him to
He's very smart,
race
very
his race.
bright.
And in doing mine, what we found out a really weird thing in the
Do tell.
Glovinsky family. Evidently, there are two Abraham Glovinskys that are somehow related to each other. I don't know. Both of them were married and had the Abraham Glovinsky and his side that we don't seem to know how we're related to. He and his only wife had one daughter and like 11 sons. The daughter's name is slightly close to my great grandfather Abraham Glovinsky and his second wife Clara. She was Clara's daughter from Clara's first marriage. Abraham adopted her as though she was his own and raised her that way.
That was sweet, right?
But the other side, the others are an Abraham Glovinsky with a wife's name I don't remember, but she came from England. But all of their sons and their one daughter have the same name.
Wow.
It seems in Russia and Poland, they were close to each other. So, I mean, you'll find some really cool things. We haven't dug deep enough on the Gloven and the Stone side to see if there's anybody famous. Like we're not related to Jen, who is somehow related to the king and queen of every land.
That is so funny. Ireland, somewhere in Ireland.
Yep.
I think that's why Biden's there, figuring out my genealogy.
No, he's probably in Ireland to make sure he's related to that Irish lineage that you're related to.
My gosh, I know. That was weird. That was funny. Randy Rose is awesome. Seriously,
he really is, and it gets a lot of joking and a lot of garbage from me. Randy, Jen, and I were the first set of Boogie with the Bull anchors. And it's fun to get us all back together every once in a while, because during those times I can't cut everybody else off. I have to.
He has to listen.
And wait for Miss Jen to call on me.
Funny, yeah, you're fun.
But, my last year of college, I was still on the college station, and the instructor in my last in-class broadcasting class would tell me to stay home, and he would say, because the test that you have to take is an oral exam, and you spit out the answer before anybody else gets a chance to answer, and you're always right. So just say Friday we're having an oral exam, he'd ask me the questions. He said you already got an A in the class anyway, just go home.
Oh no, that's awesome. That's a blessing in disguise.
But anyway, but stay in school, get a degree.
Yes.
Or
a vocation. Get a vocation.
Or a vocation and get certified. Most of the community colleges in some of the big cities have partnerships with technology companies, manufacturing companies, where you're enrolled in that program, and while you're in that program, you are lucky enough to be an intern at that business, right. Hopefully guaranteed a job there when you quit. And there's nothing wrong with doing a vocational thing, because I'll be the first one to tell you, I was not college material in any way.
Right.
In any way at all. And the only reason I graduated was that 75% of my stuff was extracurricular activity where I overexcelled in. So I made up.
Oh, nice.
I made up for for not doing as well in class as I should have done. I was executive vice president of the student government for 4 years. I was on the college radio station. So, but don't get lost. These days, balance out the extracurricular and the social activities, because you got to learn You got to learn stuff. I mean, if you're
Right.
in computer classes and you're going to be a computer major and all of that, you know how well those jobs pay, but you know that there are more
Right.
people asking for that job, and some people are willing to take it for less.
Wow, you're right.
So study hard. And the other thing is, I'm the best person to tell you this. If you graduate, you got all your ducks in a row, and you think you can go into business for yourself doing this, don't
Good.
hesitate.
Good luck.
If you
Yeah,
got,
go fast. Do
if
it.
you
Do it
got the
fast.
capital to do it, do it. If you need to get help with the capital to do it. There's nothing greater in the United States of America
That's
than
awesome.
being your
Capitalism.
own boss and building a company knowing that you started it and you grew it to where it was. And when you left, if you ever leave, people were there to continue doing it. My mistake is
That's
that I
good.
actually had to give up in 2011, and I carried it through 2015, but it was pretty much done when I left in 2015. And now I get paid very well to do what I do on Facebook, which is why I do it so well. I mean, why I do it.
That's
Well,
awesome.
but stay in school. Uh, if your kids are still it doesn't matter to me if your kids are being homeschooled or your kids are still going to the public schools. Get involved in what they're learning, and don't necessarily
That's good.
look for the
Very
teacher
good.
who is doing something wrong so that you can go down and create a scene and all of that stuff. Just get
Right.
involved in what they're teaching, what your kids are being taught. Be
That's
involved
awesome.
with the school board. You elected them to represent you
Right.
in the city, the county, and the state. It's your money,
Exactly.
your schools.
So smart.
That's easy for me to say because I'm not. It's easy for me to say because I'm not in school anymore. And but I would be the guy that if I felt that there was a reason right now to go down to the school board and complain
Right.
about what's going on in schools, uh, I would probably do it. There was a guy here
That's
in,
awesome.
I think it was Middleburg, the same city that we live in. He went down to the Clay County school board meeting one night and he complained about a book that is available in the library that shouldn't be there, should never have been there. It doesn't belong anywhere in the public school curriculum. He had armed with him, he had copies of the purchase order. The person within the school district who ordered the book, and they shut his mic off. He kept talking. They finally ended the meeting, and
Oh my
and,
gosh.
and he unfortunately he decided to leave before they were going to arrest him or anything. That tape made
That's
that tape made the Dan Bongino show.
awesome.
And
I
and
like
if
that.
you are going to school board meetings and if you're going to school board meetings, all I'm going to say is if someone's there, they got your cell phone camera and they can record it. And I'm not asking for people to go and make scenes, but if you go to the school board near you and you attend and you're involved or you speak and you're not
Yeah, you
like
have a voice.
crazy and you tape it on your cell phone, send it to me and we'll play it. Or if we can, we'll go live with you at that school board meeting.
Oh, fun.
You
That
know,
would be fun.
you know I, I, I'm here doing this because I enjoy doing it, and I'll always find time to do it. But the thing that I enjoy about it is that someone can come to me with an idea for something today. I didn't have any plan. I knew Jen was going to be here, so I asked her this morning, or asked you a few days ago, what we were doing, and I tell people all the time, message me on Messenger, and you got an idea, 9 out of 10 times we're going to do it. Keith HML Media on YouTube, the forbidden social media network. Uh, Keith Pribble, Keith HML Media on YouTube is watching. Karen Joinson is watching. William Grant is watching. As I said, Keith Pribble is watching. I'm watching. Justin Bayard is watching, but he's going to be racing tonight. We'll get more information. Maybe we can get him on a broadcast next week to see how his race did. And again, Soup Mama Official. On Facebook, it's Soup Mama Official.
Awesome.
On the web, I believe it's soupmama.com. But if you type Soup Mama Official into your favorite browser, it will get you to the website. People in East Palestine are telling me water, water, water is what they need, because most of the water in East Palestine is well water, and they're being told it's safe to drink. They're on lists that they won't get their wells tested until probably 20 years from now, and it costs $250 that you have to pay to get it done. They're surviving in their homes, I guess, as best as they can, trying to get into hotels on weekends so that they can shower and clean up and hopefully do laundry. And the hotel rooms are booked way in advance because they're all these hotels outside of East Palestine that don't use East Palestine water. And it's just getting crazy. And I understand the fault for this is that the governor of Ohio did not declare East Palestine a what do you call
national emergency.
Yeah, right. A national emergency. So FEMA didn't come in. Not that FEMA can help or does help anywhere anyway, but at least, they're not.
They could generate money.
They could generate money, which would help people. At this point, I'd have to be that. If I can't live in my home, if I can't drink the water, if I can't, my animals outside are dying. Because
the children can't even play outside.
Children
you can't grow crops.
If
you
FEMA
can't drink water.
We'll give you, I don't know, $50,000 for your property that really is worth $250,000. I'd probably take it just to leave. But a lot of these are people that have been there all their lives and now are adults, parents, grandparents, all their lives, and it's hard to say. I guess Norfolk Southern is only willing to do so much. If you get a hotel room, I guess they're only reimbursing you if you present what they deem as a qualified receipt. So that tells me that you can turn in a receipt that should be qualified, and they say no, we're not paying you. I believe the biggest problem there is that most of the Norfolk Southern employees in East Palestine are booking those hotel rooms for themselves.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just, this is something where FEMA should have showed up with at least temporary trailers or something that people can live in, brought shower facilities in, coordinated all that kind of stuff, washers, dryers with water that is not contaminated. Make sure that you don't wear a mask, or if you want to wear a mask, you have the right mask and all. And, to me, that's just another example of how Beijing Biden Incorporated is really showing you why you should be proud that they are the president of the United States, and all the reasons why you shouldn't be again. I'm also hearing that within the high ranks of the Democrat Party who claim they are the ones who actually will decide who their candidate will be, because of the ongoing classified document investigation of Senator Biden, Vice President Biden, and now President Beijing Biden. They are concerned that this will be a liability in the 2024 election, because
he's not going to make it.
But unlike President Trump, who was a president and according to the rule book had the authority to declassify anything that he did and take it with him, Beijing Biden never had the authority to take any classified document outside of the United States Senate.
You're right. He was a vice president.
Let alone keep it until he was vice president, let alone keep it until he was president. Because if he had been dealt with doing it as a senator, he would never have become president, the vice president, and he would never have been president. Also, Donald Trump kept things in a locked, secured area of his Mar-a-Lago home here in Florida with round-the-clock Secret Service protection, plus his own round-the-clock Trump security protection in locked rooms of Mar-a-Lago, as opposed to George Bush Sr., who kept stuff in a closed furniture store that wasn't secure. Barack Obama did the same kind of thing. It wasn't secure. And I would have questions as to anything Barack Obama has that he says he declassified as president. You want to go back and see if he took it while he was a senator. Because if he took it while he was a senator, he's still a criminal, or was still a criminal as president. And Biden is guilty of this same thing. So it's that alone, I hear, that every time they find more stuff, wherever they find it, or go wherever he has said stuff is, and they find more stuff that he shouldn't have, they're afraid that if the Republicans in the House, Jim Jordan, who chairs the Judiciary Committee, thought he had enough to push a impeachment through the House, would know that the Senate Democrats, who have the majority, are going to have to vote to impeach. And that, I don't know if that's what the power brokers of the elite Democrats think is going to happen, but I personally think that it's just time to let him go. I don't agree that if you let him go, Kamala Harris becomes the president. I don't think Kamala is going to do anything in the directions that Joe Biden was going in, anywhere near as drastic as he is, only because if she is president and she runs as the Democrat incumbent in 2024, there's no chance she's going to defeat Donald Trump anyway. I don't think there's any chance anybody's going to defeat Donald Trump. And the worst thing that I think would happen to America would be if Donald Trump said, you know what, I changed my mind, I'm not going to run. I've had enough. I don't think that will ever happen because he won't be able to vindicate himself as president. If he's back as president, he will be able to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt, once all of the Democrats that were out to get him are exposed and all, and then how much this was a fraud, he'll at least be able to vindicate himself. But I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's going anywhere. And
I always pray for his life. Thank God he has his bodyguards. Plus, he has special mercenaries hired from the Scotland Yard. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is awesome. He has men from the Scotland Yard protecting him here in America. Thank God, because I already know about 2 different times that assassins' plans were thwarted. They even caught a bullet in the window of one of his Mar-a-Lago places where him and Melania sleep. They're in bed and the window catches a bullet. I'm like,
I guess Dennis Michael Lynch said on his show today that I guess the FBI, the good guys at the FBI, foiled an international plot to assassinate George W. Bush at his Dallas ranch.
Oh,
yeah, that he was a target, and I guess I haven't heard any. I don't believe any of us have heard about it on whatever media access we have, and we'll dig into that as well. So let me see. It's 6:44, so you probably got to put your parachute on. And
I do. Thank you. It was so fun doing this. Yeah,
I'm sure we will book you for lunch next week.
I can't wait. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye, Jen. All right, Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom. Always a pleasure to have her on. I hope you learned something. If you didn't learn something, then you watch the next time Jen is on and you tell her that you didn't learn anything. But I think you did, because every time I have Jen on, I learn something. I love talking about homeschooling with her because I think homeschooling is going to be the way of the future, only because I think the the Democrats are on their way to the Democrats are on their way to plan, or have already planned, the next lockdown. Whether it is another strain of Joe Bid 21 that they're going to release, or another means of doing whatever they're doing to contain us. Uh, and because of that, homeschooling will will be the way it's going to be. But I believe that they think that our homeschooling will turn into indoctrination centers at that point, and I hope that that doesn't happen. Okay, uh, so be strong. Know when it's time to put your foot down. Uh, Sleep and prepare, and live every day knowing that you have a right to carry a gun in the Constitution, and it doesn't say that it has to be concealed on you. It says, you have a right to bear arms. So to me, that bear means that it should be right out in the open where everybody can see it. And you know, but I would say live every day knowing that if they get the chance, they think they can take that right away from us. Whether or not they ever will, you got to pay attention and be ready. Uh, I don't know if it will ever do it. I think that they're going to say that they're going to come and get it, because I think they understand, just like we understand, that the only reason they want to take our guns is so that you can't protect yourself from them. And you have to interpret that however you want. We need to get government for the people, by the people, back done by the people. And, I've gone as far on broadcast to say lately that maybe our founding fathers created the United States of America the way they did back then, knowing that it would slowly become, or quickly become, the way they wanted it to be. And maybe this is the way they wanted it to be. I don't agree with that. I don't understand that. But, I talk to people every day on Facebook who tell me, oh, they just came back from 90 days in Facebook jail, or they just came back from 9 months in Facebook jail, and they show me what they did. And I show them for 15 years on Facebook, I've been doing exactly the same thing. And all they did is 2 separate times they gave me a 1 week suspension, and we didn't use Facebook each week. We used YouTube instead. YouTube's taken me off for about a month, and they're not going to stop me. But my point is that social media was created so that people could get together and share views, share opinions, and talk about whatever they think is the truth, and agree to disagree on what they don't think the truth is, and this and that and the other thing. Facebook, I think, on the other hand, was created to make us think that it's social media, but it was an apparatus to control us, and in some cases they do. And that's why I've always said, don't make Facebook the beginning and end of your social media experience. Use Facebook, but embrace other social media networks that don't operate the same way Facebook does, where you can say whatever you want, however you want to say it, and not worry about how other people are going to receive it and or be upset with it, or that the owners of those social media networks are going to tell you you can't do it. they, as you know, all the owners have a right to decide what is okay and not okay on their systems, but they don't have a right to allow their community standards to supersede the Constitution of the United States or the Communications Decency Act of 1996, Section 230, which is like the Constitution of the Internet for Facebook. But we can talk about that at a later time of day. It is Friday. It's 6:50. We're coming up on 7 o'clock downstairs on the American Rebellion blogger page. Make sure you catch the American Rebellion with Jerry Michaels, Nikki Young. Jen Woodruff is going to be there. Sometimes Randy Rhodes is there. Sometimes Robert Lawless, the Minnesota Madman, like I said, is going to be performing in Las Vegas at the Nugget. I believe in Frank Sinatra's old showroom. He'll be there. He'll talk. Sometimes Larry Burns from up in Canada is down there with a view that is special to Larry of the world, and everybody gets a chance to speak in the live chat. And sometimes, if you feel that you want to be on the broadcast, you can take the link and come in. And it's just people talking, the talk of the day, talk of their lives. Politics gets in there at some point. But just watch it. The American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern on the American Rebellion page and somewhere over on Rumble. And embrace Rumble. I'm telling people now on Facebook, embrace other places off of Facebook that you can still get Boogie with the Bull, because one day they may take it away from me, and I'm sure I'm sure that YouTube will take it away from me one day when the next algorithm tracker hears me say something that they don't want me to say. If you follow me on Twitter, at BoogieWTBull, the Boogie with the Bull Twitter profile. You can watch the broadcasts there. You can share them all over Twitter. You can take it from Twitter and share it anywhere else. The only one thing you can't do is there is no live chat when you're watching on my Twitter profile. We're working on one day we will have Twitter through Periscope, and eventually, hopefully in May, the beginning of May, we will have Rumble. The Boogie with the Bull Rumble channel is already built, already set and ready to go. We just have to activate a Rumble subscription, and we will be there as well. On Facebook, you want to be a member of Boogie with the Bull, True Patriot Talk public group. You want to be a member of Don't Walk, Run Away from the Democrat Party public group. You want to be a member of Studio 10 Broadcasting 10 O'Clock Talks group, because you can see, hear, watch all of Michael Anthony's award-winning broadcasts, and you can share them as well. You want to be a friend of Randy Rhodes, and you want to follow the All Roads Lead to Home group. And if you're interested in genealogy, you can see what he's doing, then you can contact him. And like I said, he'll do 15 minutes to see what he can find. He'll come back and talk to you. And like I said, so far, everybody I know that has gotten the results of the 15 minutes has him go further. It keeps going further. And as I said, the rates that you will find that he does it for are much less than the rates than anybody else will charge you to do it. So if you're interested, talk to Randy Rhodes. Let's see. Soup Mama official, like I said, she'll be back in East Palestine, Ohio on Sunday, April 16th. People there are telling me they need water, and water. But if you go to the Soup Mama official page, you'll be able to read posts on what they need. If you can't get stuff that you want to donate from you to East Palestine, Ohio, you can talk to Soup Mama, and there is a chain of distribution drop points that you can drop stuff off, and it will be picked up by a convoy of truckers that are helping Soup Mama as best as they can as well. Otherwise, you'll see tons of options for making financial donations and all the ways on how to do it. She is a 501c3 charity. I believe any money that you donate, any other stuff that you donate is tax deductible. If you're a business and you want to make donations, there's a business kit that she has, which she will email you or mail you that your business can complete and send back to her, and those donations are deductible off taxes as well. This is a legitimate person with a legitimate organization. There are expenses in this legitimate organization, and the donations help her continue the efforts that she is doing. And if you look and you see what she is doing in East Palestine, Ohio, and getting up there as often as she can with donations that people need, you gotta imagine that if it happens in your city, in your town, in your state, and you need help, Soup Mama's going to be there to do what she can. Randy Griesenbeck has a big blowout benefit down in Kentucky. The flyer is all over Facebook. It's in all of our groups on Facebook. I will get it posted around again this weekend, and that is what you need to know on there. And or if you know Randy Griesenbeck on Facebook, you can go to his Facebook page and you can message him, and you can talk to him for any additional information that you may need. And if you're looking to put benefits together occasionally, that is now Randy Griesenbeck's business, and I'm sure he can help you. And you can take that for whatever it is. It's just an opportunity that I'm saying that if you are planning to do something, that's what he does. And you can take that any way you wish. Anyway, let me see. Let me scroll down one more time before this battery dies. 6:57, so go downstairs to the American Rebellion blogger page and catch the American Rebellion, which will already be in progress by the time you log off of Boogie with the Bull. The only other thing I need to say is that the ongoing problem with the Dave Logan live chat not showing up on the live producer screen may be because people aren't going to StreamYard.com/Facebook, StreamYard.com/Facebook, put that into your browser, scroll halfway down the page, and it says give permission. Click on that. It'll tell you what it's doing. Screen may flash for a second or two, and then it'll say done or something. All it's doing is it's taking your permission for StreamYard to use your name and your profile picture, and it puts it on the live producer screen like it's supposed to. We've been having a problem with them, and it does not happen on the live producer screen like it's supposed to from the My Profile live chat. It could be, like I said, it could just be that you need to make sure you do this one-time thing, StreamYard.com/Facebook in your browser. Go down and give permission. They say you only have to do it once, but what I would do, if you can, is before you come to watch a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, do the same thing. Throw it in your browser. Give Facebook permission to allow us to use your name and your profile picture, and then come watch the broadcast. Sometimes, if you do it, then it works like it's supposed to. I don't know why it's not working with the live chat on my profile. So I'm going to get on the phone with them over the weekend and see if there's anything we can do to fix it. Anyway, I'm Dave Logan, you're not. Thank you for the privilege of letting me abuse your time. I hope you were gentle. I hope you learned something. I hope you got some laughs. I hope you have an excellent weekend. Not sure if we will be live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and what we will be doing, what we will be discussing. It may just be an open broadcast, open to anybody who wants to be on it, as well as anyone who wants to be in the live chat watching it. And I'm not really sure of what the plan for it will be. So message me if you have any ideas, and if we get enough ideas, then we will plan it. If not, I'm not really sure. Tuesdays, before we finally go, Tuesdays at in the 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. hour, a 2-hour broadcast, or in the 6 to 8 p.m. 2-hour time slot, there will be a broadcast. I don't know what's happening with the Wednesday broadcast yet. Haven't made any decisions. The Friday is, if there are people available to do it, then we will do it. Or it may become Tuesday and Friday. I don't really know. We're going to try to figure out something. I'm trying to find people that want to do broadcasts in all the times, because it's easier for me if I find people that want to do broadcasts and will do broadcasts. It's easy to share them on Facebook, or even be their live producer on StreamYard. And don't even have to be on your program if you don't want me to. I just need to be the person behind the glass. And I'm just as happy doing that for people who don't have the abilities to do it themselves. So contact me and we'll go from there. Randy Rhodes thanked me for the shout out at 6:25 p.m. Always a pleasure, Randy. One of these days we will get you back in here. Maybe we'll figure out a genealogy broadcast. Maybe Jerry Michaels will want to come on and talk about his genealogy. Maybe Daryl Rector will join us. Maybe everybody from there. Nikki Young will come on. Jen will probably come on. I don't really know. Maybe we'll find somebody. We'll find somebody. Maybe we'll do a broadcast on the 15 minutes worth of information that you found, and we'll have a good time. So other than that, let me know. If you want to be a member of Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group here on Facebook, it's a public group. Join the group, invite your friends. You want to be a member of Don't Run Away from the Democrat Party, it's a public group on Facebook. Join it, join your friends. As I said earlier, you want to be a member of Studio 10 Broadcasting 10 o'clock talks to watch Michael Anthony's broadcasts and other broadcasts to get put into that group for you to watch. You also want to be a member of another show group, the New United Media Group Uncensored. The New United Media Group Uncensored. You want to be a member of that group, and you want to post to that group as well. Go out there and make it a great weekend. Let me see. I got something here. The American Rebellion is live, and they're already going. I just got the link, so I'm going to wind up today's Boogie with the Bull and move along. You have a pleasant evening. This is the part of the broadcast where I say you have been watching Boogie with the Bull, the Friday Free-for-All, which is a copyrighted presentation of the No Media Broadcasting Company. We own the name. We own the broadcast. We own everything about it. Equal time is given to responsible parties with opposing views. All you have to do is message me and tell me what you didn't agree with, and whether or not it was a comment in the live chat or whether or not it was a comment by someone on screen. And provided both sides are agree to be on a broadcast, and we will have a distinguished panel of judges, not myself, but a distinguished panel of judges who will make a decision as to whether or not you get a apology or a redaction or whatever. I don't really care. But the point is that it's uncensored because we want you to say what you feel and use how you feel when you speak, because this broadcast was created to give people an opportunity to speak for themselves, because not everybody has an opportunity on Facebook or on YouTube or on any other social media network to speak for themselves. Oh, also, American Patriot Social Network, AmericanPatriotSocial.com. One word, AmericanPatriotSocial.com. Trevor Winchell's fantastic Christian value-based conservative patriot network. AmericanPatriotSocial.com. Join it. Look for the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group. Go in there and post in the group, watch the broadcast, take the broadcast and share them from there. Any place else you can on social media. You can bring it back and share it from there to Facebook if you want. The whole idea is just to get this thing out to everybody we can, everywhere we can. You want to be on the broadcast, you know what to do, and you know how to do it. You can message me at Dave Bullivan on Messenger. You can also email me at boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. Boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. BOOGIEWITHTHEBULL, all one word, boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. I'm done boogieing with the bull tonight. Possibilities that will be on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, if not, sometime Monday. If it's news and it's important, we will interrupt your world and come on whenever we can. Anyway, I'm Dave Blum, you're not. We've done our 2 hours for today. As you know, we've done about an hour and 41 minutes for today, so we're still within our 90-minute max. But we're going to wrap it up anyway. Thanks to Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, for a fantastic broadcast, and to everybody who was in the live chat watching. I hope Justin Bayard had a fantastic night of racing. More information on that the next time he's available. We'll bring him on and we can talk about that. If you do something exciting with your life and you think other people want to hear about it, we want to know. So again, message me and get on the broadcast. Keith Primble, who is Keith HML. Keith, my tongue is getting tied because I'm tired. Keith Pribble, who is Keith HML Media on YouTube. Is a fantastic fan of Boogie with the Bull broadcast watches. We've had him on before. You enjoy it very much when he's on the panel, along with Paul Riley, Therapy Range on Rumble now. Was on YouTube, but on Rumble now. Let's see, Bob McCarthy, who is upstairs on Patriot Party Network. Patriot Party News. I can never remember the name of the show, but he pops on every now and then. And if you're just anybody who thinks you want to come on and be a part of the panel when we have a live broadcast going that we can plug you into, we will. And otherwise, sometimes if you fit within the discussion of a broadcast that is going on and you're in the live chat, you could always do the American Rebellion thing where you can take the link and, make sure the link is going on the screen, but you can take the link and you can come in backstage. And if you agree to be nice and respect everybody the way you want to be respected, then I will 9 out of 10 times probably bring you on, because there's always a camera available to get people on. It's just that casual of a program because I want people to watch and I want people to be involved in it. So make sure you watch Keith HML video. Keith HML Media on YouTube. Keith HML Media on YouTube. Matter of fact, Donald Wisman said to me a few weeks ago he wanted to know how I knew Keith, and that he said Keith is a great guy and he watches Keith. So kudos to you, Keith. Donald Wisman, who is a good hardcore conservative patriot, good friend of mine. He is the founding admin of the Don't Walk, Run Away from the Democrat Party group here on Facebook, as well as Trump 2024, the 10,000 member private group, which you want to be a member of also. Anyway, it is 7 o'clock, so we are going to say to you, have a great night, have a good weekend, and we will see you on the next Boogie with the Bull, which is going to end